Moving on to the other big issue we are debating today, the face-off between the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Vinay Saxena, and the Aam Aadmi Party has refused to die down. Today, the LG has pointed out a financial mismanagement and inordinate delay in the audit of accounts in universities headed by Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. The LG has sought an explanation between 15 days from the Vice Chancellors of Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University for delaying a CAG audit for 5 years. This comes just a day after Kejriwal's government accused the LG of perpetrating a 1400 crore rupees scam, alleging that Saxena pressurized his employees to exchange demonetized notes worth that amount in his earlier avatar. Meanwhile, in Delhi Assembly, Sisodia also accused the Prime Minister of corruption, that he's raising GST taxes on food items while benefiting his, quote, rich friends. Let's break down the charges that are hitting the Aam Aadmi Party government from the LG and how the government has chosen to respond. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that LG Vinay Saxena is responsible for a 1400 crore scam. This comes after the LG put the lens on inordinate delays on auditing the accounts in public education sector and multiple other issues under the Aam Aadmi Party government. The AAP says what exactly has he done, that he pressurized Khadi and Village Industries Commission employees to change demonetized notes in 2016. The LG, on the other hand, is putting the heat on Delhi Deputy Chief Minister as he's the Education Minister. What is important to note here is that present LG was then chairman of the Khadi Commission when this so-called demonetization scam happened. But looking at the other side, the LG has alleged that Kejriwal is running away from the responsibility for the lapses in accounting in this case. The AAP is demanding a CBI ED probe. As far as the matter that they have raised, LG has raised serious questions on the Delhi government, asking why there has been no audit filed for the last 5 years. On the offensive, the Aam Aadmi Party has demanded a removal of the LG as well, while the latter has sought an explanation from the VCs within 15 days, as I mentioned. Arvind Kejriwal's mentor and social activist Anna Hazare too waded into the excise policy row in the national capital. In a letter addressed to the Delhi Chief Minister, without mincing words, Hazare said that Kejriwal appears to have become drunk on power. Expressing his disappointment over the liquor policy, Anna Hazare said Kejriwal has made an anti-women liquor policy. The social activist wrote that he's pained looking at the Delhi government's liquor policy and also that Kejriwal's policy boosted alcohol consumption in the national capital. In the letter, Anna Hazare added that Kejriwal has forgotten his ideals after becoming the CM and also that the Aam Aadmi Party is no different from any other political party now. So the big debate that's coming up is the Delhi government deflecting scam heat as it answers charges on them with more charges on others.
सीबीआई ने पूरी जांच कर ली है। मनीष जी के घर पे भी 14 घंटे जांच हुई। मनीष के घर में भी कुछ नहीं निकला। आज लॉकर चेक किया, लॉकर में भी कुछ नहीं निकला। तो एक तरह से इनफॉर्मली तो एक तरह से सीबीआई की क्लीन चिट मिल गई है। बाकी सीबीआई के ऊपर प्रेशर है, पॉलिटिकल रीजंस की वजह से हमें लगता है कि हफ्ते 10 दिन के अंदर गिरफ्तार तो करेंगे ये लोग।
ये सामाजिक प्रश्न होने के कारण एक शराब की रणनीति पॉलिसी एक गलत बनाई और हमारी युवा शक्ति जो राष्ट्र शक्ति है वो युवा शक्ति बर्बाद हो जाएगी।
पहले तिमाही में 2375 करोड़ रुपया प्रॉफिट आना था और प्रॉफिट आया 1100 करोड़ के अगर नुकसान हुआ है तो आपको फिर वापस लेनी पड़ी पॉलिसी। तो फायदा पहुंचाने वाली नहीं थी ना। एजुकेशन में 27 करोड़ का एक ही ठेकेदार को ठेका दे दिया, बगैर बिट डाले हुए। हर स्टेज पर 1 साल इनको काम करने दिया गया था और इन्होंने दबा के भ्रष्टाचार किया।
RP Singh of the BJP, Priyanka Kakkar of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Umesh Sehgal, former Chief Secretary of Delhi, joining us on the show. And a thanks to all of you. Priyanka Kakkar, you know, it seems like there's an afterthought happening in the Aam Aadmi Party government. The LG raises an issue and you claim that he's corrupt. When the excise policy came out, you blamed former LG. Now you're saying current LG is corrupt. So basically, anytime anybody raises a question over the Aam Aadmi Party, you make counter allegations.
Shivani, hello to all of you. Shivani, we have faced a barrage of cases, 155 possibly by now. There have been 26 CBI raids on us, and nothing ever comes out. So what happens is this is managing the optics. What they want to communicate is that we are as corrupt as they are. which is not the case. And it is not a new allegation that we have brought up against the LG. There is a written complaint by the two cashiers who used to work under the LG, then the chairman of the Khadi Udyog, and they have alleged that for about 1400 crore rupees black se white karaya gaya after the public was refused to exchange, after the period had closed down for the public to exchange the notes in the bank. During that period, this is the amount that has come out. The problem is, see, you are filing case after case on us, wasting our time. Nothing comes out of those cases. To manage your optics, you sometimes arrest us. जब चुनाव आते हैं उसके आसपास आप अरेस्ट कर लेते हैं, फिर उसके बाद छोड़ देते हैं. ये हमारे विधायकों के साथ, मंत्रियों के साथ, it has happened constantly and continuously. It is nothing new for us.
Okay, but the question I asked you is different. I am not pronouncing anybody guilty, whether it is a case against you or anybody else. The question I'm saying is that the response of the Aam Aadmi Party is a little suspect. When the excise row broke over, you said the former LG is to be blamed. When this LG makes an allegation, you never raised those allegations earlier when he was being appointed. Now he's putting heat on you. That's why you're responding personally against him. But what is the response to the charges? Why don't you respond to CAG audit of the university? Why don't you respond on that instead of responding on LG?
Shivani, we have, when it comes to the excise policy, with all due respect and complete responsibility, I will say this on your channel, that all of our leaders, all of our spokespersons have answered each of these questions, even if they were false, because none of these allegations find a place in the FIR lodged by the CBI through sources. One is that aspect. When it comes to these new spate of allegations, Shivani, let me also give you a little background. I'll request your permission to please not be interrupted. We are a party which has, there's a national education policy, we are all aware of it, which recommends that a 6% of the GDP be spent on the education of the citizens of the country. Now, since the BJP government came to power, there's a gradual decline in the education budget. 6% to dur, 2% bhi nahi hai. So there is that scenario, and what has happened in all the BJP ruled states, they have not even built the collective amount that we have built in Delhi, 22,000.
No, I'm not asking you that question. The question of the CAG audit not happening in universities. Why not respond on that, then make it about BJP states? That doesn't answer the question of what is happening in Delhi.
Shivani, these are allegations which are to manage the optics, which are to deflect the particular pertinent question. How did they find the money to buy off 277 MLAs? And how did the LG...
Priyanka, let's not go into that, because, that is not helping understanding the charges against the Aam Aadmi Party government. I don't know why you keep talking about buying of MLAs or what's happening in BJP states. Your case is you are better, then answer the allegations. Anyways, RP Singh, please come in. The truth also is, there are two things that the Aam Aadmi Party government talks about. One is their health model and the second is their education model. You've been attacking both, as Priyanka alleges, for optics alone. First, you put Satyendra Jain in jail with a case against him. They're backing him till today, even though he's in custody. And now you are after Manish Sisodia's life. If it is not excise policy, then it's school gate, it's classrooms, it's universities. You're using the LG.
Well, let me just quote some data to ma'am. Out of the 1,030 schools, more than 850 schools don't have the principals. 415 schools don't have the vice principals in Delhi. And almost 16,820 probably teachers are temporary teachers. 70% schools don't have science and the education in schools. This is their education model. Their inspectors, their concerned officials or the education department goes to the schools and say, "Aap prashan ka uttar prashan bhi likh denge, we'll pass you." Every year, more than 1 lakh children are drop out from the 9th standard after 9th standard. And this is not mine. This is all I have complete RTS with me. I can send it to you. But every year 1 lakh children drop out from the school. So this is the education model. But education model is what? कमरे डाल के 3 लाख रुपए के 33 लाख रुपए का बिल चार्ज करिए. That is the education model.
Okay, I get it. BJP has said this before, but I asked you a specific question. How is it that one after the other, more investigations are being opened against Manish Sisodia or the Aam Aadmi Party government led by the LG?
Well, again, the excise policy was red flagged by the Chief Secretary of Delhi. And he said that I'm not going to be party to their corruption and their irregularities which they wanted to force upon the Delhi administration. He refused to do so. He gave it the file. He sent the details to the LG. They went for a post facto approval. I mean, it has never happened. You give a certain privilege to someone as a remedy to someone, and then you go for a post facto approval after the red flag was raised. Not for that.
Okay.
After the red flag.
No, but sir, answer on the optics and the chronology.
I'm telling you how things happen. You can build it as after. We are going by the hard fact. The hard fact is that yes, they have waived off 144.36 crore on the name of license fee for Corona period, although there was no Corona in that period. Secondly, they returned 30 crore rupees of the earnest money to L1 bidder.
Okay.
Against all the rules.
No, we've gone into the allegations in the excise policy. Let the agencies do what they're doing. Mr. Sehgal, I'm coming to you. As far as this battle between the LG and the Delhi government, what is your sense? Is the LG only discharging his duties, flagging of the issues? For example, he has now flagged off an issue that university CAG audits haven't happened for 5 years. Or is there something more?
Well, I cannot say if there is something more or something less. But the point is that if a irregularity or an alleged irregularity comes to the LG's notice, what is he to do? He is to get a report. He is asked to ask the Chief Secretary to hold an inquiry, or he can ask a report from the Vice Chancellor. What else do you expect him to do? To put it under cover just because an allegation is to be made against him? So I don't think the LG is wrong. If the thing that has come to his notice, it's a 5 years there has been no audit, it's a serious matter. It is not a matter which has to be put under the carpet. And if, for instance, in the schools, if somebody has said that the schools are ideal and best in the world, then why is the enrollment going down? Why is the absenteeism so high? I think if these issues are there, they must come out. They must come out in the public and they must be answered. And the answer is not that the LG is corrupt, or Chief Secretary is corrupt, or X is corrupt, or Mr. Prime Minister is corrupt. No, the answer is that you are wrong.
These are
Actually,
the facts.
our enrollment has gone up, or our absentee rate has gone down. These are or in the excise policy, no, we have not lost 146 crores. If I remember right, the Deputy Chief Minister himself said that hundreds of crores of rupees have been lost,
Yes.
although he put the blame on the Lieutenant Governor. The point is there is a loss. Whether it is the Lieutenant Governor's, ex-Lieutenant Governor's responsibility or the Deputy Chief Minister's, and the inquiry is a must. Just to say that the particular government is in power, so they have put pressure on the CBI. Let me just come to another point. This 1400 crores which has suddenly emerged.
Yeah.
This case is in the court. It is not that it is not in the public this. It is in the court, and if anything has to be said, let it be said in the court.
No, absolutely. And
If
why
the
did they
court
not
should
raise
take
it earlier?
cognizance.
This cannot be a tit for tat that you said something against us, so we will bring out charges against you. I have only a final minute left. Priyanka,
Precisely,
the other
that's
issue
exactly.
today also is your the former mentor of Arvind Kejriwal and the India Against Corruption movement has come out very scathingly against your liquor policy. That everybody says encouraged liquor consumption. Liquor sales went up. Revenue went down. There was 1+1 sale happening on liquor, which I don't think anybody has ever heard happening anywhere in the world. Where there's 1+1 sale happening on liquor. That was happening in the national capital.
Shivani,
The point is that everybody is not out to get Aam Aadmi Party. People are holding you accountable for the standards you set for yourself.
Shivani, since we have a very limited period, I'll go chronologically. Once Mr. R.P. Singh was, he was mentioning Gujarat data from the government school.
No, Priyanka, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. Can you please respond on the Anna Hazare issue? I don't have time for that. I'll have to cut you short. Please respond on the Anna Hazare statement.
I must tell you that Niti Aayog has consistently held that Aam Aadmi Party is the top performer when it comes to schooling. The top three schools in the country
Anna
are
Hazare's
government
letter.
schools under Aam Aadmi Party. I must say that. Secondly, like Sir said, there is already a criminal defamation matter pending against Manoj Tiwari ji and Harish Malhotra ji on this education policy that they rigged up in 2019. It is the same matter. We are already in court.
Anna Hazare's letter, Priyanka.
When
he doesn't have any political reason to attack you.
Sorry, Shivani, your voice.
I'm saying Anna Hazare's letter. Please address that. He's not a political representative.
Shivani, this is basically BJP के कंधे पर रख के बंदूक चलाना. and these are allegations and counter allegations. We are undergoing the inquiry जिसमें हमारे खिलाफ कुछ भी नहीं मिला, तो एक और चिट्ठी लिखवा देना, it is not something I'd like to respond to.
All right, I have to leave it at that. Thank you everyone for joining us. But of course, we will keep a very close watch on all of these allegations and counter allegations that are coming in the national capital, especially the excise policy row, where there's a serious investigation going on. Time for a very short break. On the other side, we'll get to the day's biggest story.